Section 4 now. So this comes with this handout. Can you see that? Possibly. And here we have 3 separate guitar parts. The first one is straightforward enough, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with that, but what I would like to encourage you to do is just be very expressive in the way that you're playing the rhythm part here. We could simply play an A minor chord, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. But play around with the dynamics, so play around with volume, you know, maybe go 1, so quietly, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on. Just do what feels right. Is the rule that we keep coming back to. The rule that we keep coming back to is that there really isn't that many rules, but just try and play as expressively as you can and do whatever works well for you. Guitar 2. Guitar 2 is based around the pentatonic shape that we looked at last week, but it's got a couple of other notes in that which kind of push it towards being more like an Ionian scale. Ionian scale, the Ionian is a mode, and mode is just a kind of posh word for scale really, and we are going to speak about modes in a later session. It's kind of got some interesting history behind them of modes. Going back to the Greek times, there was certain tribes that played music using certain scales. So there was the Ionian tribe, Lydian tribe, Phrygian tribe, and they had a unique type of music that was associated just with their tribe, and it's still in use today. So yeah, Ionian is basically a major scale, but I would be more inclined to say that this is more pentatonic than major, really, but probably more to do just with kind of like the genre of music. And anyway, I shall stop wittering on and we'll save that for a later day. So it's a rhythm of eighths. So you just count this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if you struggle with that, even though it's a fairly simple rhythm, it can be quite difficult to keep that kind of steady rhythm. Just have a listen to the track and just count it through: 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're counting the beats, and then start counting it in eighths, in quavers: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and see how you get on. See how you get on that way, and then have a go at guitar 2. So section 4, guitar 2. I'm going to give you fingerings really. So for the 7th fret note, we're going to use the 3rd finger. And then for the 4th fret note, we'll use our 1st finger. And then for the 5th fret note, we'll use our 1st finger. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. For the 3rd fret note, so this is 2nd line of guitar 2, let's use our 1st finger. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then our 1st finger for the 4th fret note, and then for the 2nd fret we'll use our 1st finger as well. Guitar 3 kind of takes us quite high up the neck. It's all on one string. It's kind of self-explanatory. All I'll say with this is just use your 1st finger for the whole piece. I think that's probably the best way to approach it, rather than overcomplicating it by using different fingers, which would probably not have much point to it really, because it sounds exactly the same regardless of what finger you're using. So learn those 3 parts. They're fairly simple once you played through them once or twice. But learning them and then saying, or feeling like we've learned them, well, that's the first stage. The second stage is to add some expression in there, to add some dynamics in there, to play certain parts louder than others, and that's kind of like the sort of finishing touches to learning any piece of music really. First we learn how to play it, and then we learn how to feel it, I guess. And that almost brings us to the end, so we have one more video where it gets fairly easy.